Hey everybody, Alex Newman here with The New American. I am with the great Hal Shurtleff. He's the executive director of Camp Constitution here, and he has won a historic victory at the Supreme Court, a supreme spanking, as the Boston Globe called it, Boston Herald. Okay, so he got a supreme spanking delivered to the city of Boston because of this flag that we have behind us. Hal, tell us a little bit about your victory and tell us the implications of that. Now the effects are cascading through the country. Tell us what's going on.
Well, it's 5 years in the making. Back in 2017, I applied for a permit to fly this particular flag, this 4x8 Christian flag on City Hall Plaza, where they have what I refer to as a public access flagpole. We were denied based on the First Amendment, separation of church and state. When I got the official response, in the email, I said, we have a case here. And the next day, I got a hold of Liberty Counsel, and they took the case. And it took almost 5 years in the making, but we won 9-0 at the U.S. Supreme Court. Of course, we lost at the lower level. And on August 3rd of 2022, just a few weeks away, the city has graciously allowed us to fly. This will be the last time any civic organization will be allowed to fly anything on any third-party flag on that flagpole. So the flag behind us will be flying on that flagpole 11 o'clock, August 3rd. But I think the ramifications of this case, and this is not something that we really anticipated. We simply wanted to have the same right as other organizations to fly our flag.
And to be clear, they were flying homosexual flags, they were flying communist China flags, they were flying Muslim flags. Only the Christian flag wasn't allowed.
What made it worse is the Chinese communist flag. You had city officials participating in the ceremony, and the purpose of that, they were basically celebrating the Communist Revolution of China. Mm-hmm. We wanted to have the reason for our flag raising was to commemorate the Constitution Day, September 17th, and Boston's history. Boston was founded about the same time, September 15th to 16th, many years before, 1630. And we were going to have a speaker talk about Boston's rich Christian history. We were going to have Reverend Stevie Kraft, our camp chaplain, talk about the need for racial harmony. And we had a historian to talk about the great history of Boston, from John Winthrop's sermon on the Bella City on a Hill to Pope John Paul II's visit, and much in between and after that. And so that's what we're going to do on August 3rd. But what happened since the case, a lot of towns and cities around the country have stopped flying third-party flags.
So no more LGBT pride flags at City Hall unless they also want to fly a Christian flag. Huh?
Well, there are some cities and towns that have done just that. And it seems like every other day I'm getting some news story that it's not just in Boston, but also I think a town in California, Delaware, Ohio, a town in Florida, I can't remember where, even in Massachusetts, Reading, Massachusetts, and many of the towns around there. So what they're saying is basically that if we fly a rainbow flag, someone's going to want to fly this flag or other flags. There's all, in Worcester, Massachusetts, there was a Catholic, I guess I can't call it a Catholic school anymore, but they were flying in the rainbow flag and the Black Lives Matter flag. The bishop of the Archbishop of the diocese saying, if you don't pull those down, you're no longer a Catholic school. The city of Worcester was flying the rainbow flag in support of the left-wing school. So we're thinking, fly the Vatican flag on Worcester. So we'll see what happens. We have to get people who actually want to go do something. So we're very excited about that. And, our job is to teach people about the Constitution, all ages. And I think we taught the country a very good lesson on the First Amendment, that the term separation of church and state is simply not in there.
Yeah, and so where do you go from here, Hal? August 3rd, you guys have the big ceremony. What are your upcoming plans for the organization, for the movement, for the flag? You got anything in the works?
We're going to keep doing as God opens up doors to us, and we have opened up a lot of doors. In fact, I got a call from a Christian, manager of a Christian performer from Texas, and he said, would you guys like to go on tour with us? Not just me, I'm saying, but some of our instructors. I says, yeah, I think we can work that out. Yeah. And we have a weekend camp coming up in late September, early October in New Hampshire, which is on the other side of where we are now, closer to my home. And he said, do you want to have a free concert? She'll put on a free concert. I said, yeah, I think we can manage that too. So there's lots of opportunities opened up. So
that's wonderful. And Hal, before we let you go, you've got the great Sam Blumenfeld archives. Yeah. Tell us about those archives. What's there? Of course, for those those of you who don't know Sam Blumenfeld, I guess most of you do. He was a longtime writer for the New American, a longtime staffer for the John Birch Society, worked closely with Robert Welch, and I think one of the leading education experts of the last 100 years. But you guys have his archives. He left all his papers, his documents with you. Tell us what you got.
That's right. Well, he passed away 7 years ago in June, and he left me most of his papers and his writings and a lot of unpublished type things. And thanks to this guy right here, Mr. Mark Affleck, you should probably put the camera on him for a minute.
Mark, say hello.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Mark is the one who manages it all, right?
How you doing?
Yeah,
This is Mark Affleck, great guy.
How you doing?
Also the camp newspaper editor. So, thank you, Mark.
So Mark and our webmaster, I had 200 boxes of legal size things and trash bags full of stuff, and we had to sift through it. In between phone bills and his mother's wedding ring, we found some real gems. Some of his correspondence between people.
With Moise Chombe of Katanga,
Yes,
right?
yes, right. In fact, Sam told me that when he was interviewing Chombe, he interviewed him in Madrid, Spain, after he'd been in exile. He's interviewing him in French. And Sam makes use of the word conspiracy, which I guess is, the French word is similar, right? And Chombe says, "Ma oui, la force occulte."
Oh, wow. So he knew the hidden forces.
Yeah, hidden forces, yeah. So we have that correspondence. We have all of his newsletters. We have, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks of his audio and video that you can download all free of charge. But I think his most important work was his Alpha Phonics workbook. Some of the most simplest things are most important. And Mark tabulates it every year, every quarter. Every quarter I do a update. You know, I do a first quarter Camp Constitution, what we're doing, and we get something like a couple of million downloads. Not downloads. I'm sorry, views, hits. That doesn't mean 2 million people, but all over the world, mainly in the United States. And there's a school in Zimbabwe, right? And the guy got a hold of me, the principal. It's a private school, Christian school, right in the capital. Dirt poor. And he's been downloading the materials. And he asked me if we would donate some of his Alpha Phonics. I says, yeah, why not? And we've donated, I don't know, about 50 to 100 copies of the Alpha Phonics. I said, all I want is some video and pictures of these teachers. And you see this dirt poor school, nothing on the walls, but all the students are well dressed. Yeah. The teachers actually have shirts with collars on them, and they don't have tattoos on their necks or anything like that. You know?
And all their kids are going to be better readers than most Americans.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So we're so excited about that. And the lady in Johannesburg, South Africa, reached out to us, and she told me that she inherited this class of special needs. They have a different term there. And she said 19 students in 2 years, no progress. She said she found Sam's Alpha Phonics on the website. She said, I don't think this is going to try. But she tried it. 2 weeks, she said, 17 of the 19 became proficient readers.
Wow.
Yeah. So
well, I can echo that. I've used Alpha Phonics with all 4 of my older children. It works like a charm. It's idiot proof. You don't have to be a trained educator or have a PhD to do it. Hal, where can people, and I will say too, I mean, it's so good. I've been sending it to schoolmasters in Liberia and the Ivory Coast, and it's so valuable. And all you ask for is just a little donation if people can and want to, right?
Yeah, that's a suggested donation of a few dollars, and we don't get a whole lot, but that's fine. And, you know, I told Sam died on a Monday. I saw him on Thursday. In fact, you were with me.
Yep.
I think that was the first time you ever met him, even though you had co-authored a book. Everything was by conference calls. Yep. So I was so pleased to be able to have introduced you to in person. But Sam told me many years ago that he's going to do this till he drops. And he's on his deathbed. He's autographing books and giving books away and so forth. So he was true to his word. You know,
he was a very good man. How can people find this?
campconstitution.net is the website. And you can see the Samuel Blumenfeld archives. And all we need is an email and a username. And you have all that stuff. And we don't run or ration bullets in wartime, you know. So spread the word. Get as much stuff out as you can. I mean, start your own archive if you want. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Hal, thank you so much for what you're doing. Congratulations on your historic win at the Supreme Court. We look forward to many more.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you too. All right, folks. God bless.